Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara. All relations. Let's get started today. What are some signs that your third eye is opening? Okay, this is a really important video for you to watch if you are second guessing yourself, or maybe you're like, is my third eye opening? Is it not opening? Let's find out today. The first thing you got to note is, are you getting any pressure on your forehead? Okay, this is the ajna point, where you have to put your focus here during your meditations, because where attention flows, energy goes. Okay, so that means that if you consciously bring attention towards this point during stillness, during meditation, it activates the pineal gland. You're going to notice is this intense pressure in the forehead. It's kind of going to feel like it's pushing out of your skull slightly, okay? There's energy moving there, there's circuits activating there, and it almost feels like a muscle that's been dead that's waking up again, okay? It's like a dormant muscle that has been in sleeping mode, and now it's like active mode. So it might throb a bit, might pound a bit. It means that your life force is knocking, okay, on the door. Because this is the doorway to perceive extrasensory perception, altered states of mind. The next thing I would say is you start to see energy, okay? Your environment may start to almost have more of an HD quality to it. There is a sharpness to the way that you perceive things. It might seem shimmering or glittery, like that brightness, right? That sparkliness that you sense when you're looking at certain objects, or maybe you're out in nature and you see that quality. It's because you're perceiving a new layer of reality, not just what your meat suit eyes are used to seeing, but your spiritual vision. Other people may see auras, different beings. That's not uncommon, okay? You're not crazy. Just be patient with yourself right now, okay? Be patient with yourself right now. It's going to activate on its own time. You can't force awakening, can't force this process to happen. You gotta be really gentle and kind with yourself. The next thing you'll notice is very vivid dreams, okay? Like super vivid dreams. The colors will hit harder and the dreams will seem as real as more lucid. There might be astral shifts happening as well. And you might start noticing that your dream life and your waking life will start to overlap at times. Okay, very strangely. Like you might see an object in the dream world that might end up being here in the real world, or vice versa. The next thing I would say is an increased sense of morality or ethics or integrity in some way. And this is not that fake, politically correct, virtue signaling wokeness that I'm talking about. This is like an inner knowingness, a very strong inner authority. You basically stop swallowing what society keeps just feeding you, because now you can see through the programming. Morality isn't necessarily about just being a good person. It's more so about, are you in alignment with natural law? Now, at some point, you are gonna feel like the chosen one, okay? The Messiah complex. This is very common, more common than I've seen in a lot of individuals. It's part of the process, because your ego will try to hijack your awakening, okay? Because it doesn't understand it. It wants to classify it, put it into a box. It's gotta mean this, right? So welcome to the club, just don't get stuck here, okay? Don't get stuck in God complex and think I am the second coming and just stay there. You gotta evolve past that stage, okay? Your power trip is just a detour. It's not the destination. The bottom line is you're upgrading. Think about like an third iOS upgrade, right? Your senses sharpen, you might have sensitivity to places, events, different things. So it's going to feel like an energetic initiation for you. You're stepping into this completely altered world, or you're gonna feel like this is a different timeline. Like, I don't feel quite like I'm tethered into all of society's stuff. You're gonna feel a little bit distanced from it, and that's completely valid. The third eye opens the door towards the subconscious mind. So you might get a lot of symbolism and imagery showing up. You might also be squinting a lot, okay? Squint maxing. You're gonna be like Clint Eastwood for a while because bright lights will seem very bright. You will understand that from the enhanced level of melatonin, because melatonin is secreted from the pineal gland, right? Which helps our sleep-wake cycle. So if your sleep cycle gets messed up, it's probably because of this, okay? Sometimes there might be very, very strange types of sleep patterns, okay? And you're gonna have to roll with that, okay? It's unfortunate, but you're gonna have to roll with that because you gotta understand how naturally to get to know your body's circuitry, and the way that it's connecting to the seasons. So the third eye isn't a literal eye, it is a shift in perception. So in the yogic tradition, if we take it back there, it represents a state where your awareness moves beyond the physical. This gives you a lot of clarity, a lot of insight. Okay, internal sight, insight. You're not externally understanding the world anymore, you're internally understanding the world. Now, Shiva's third eye is very symbolic, okay? Very symbolic. Because when it opens, either everything is burned, which means illusions are destroyed, or he sees everything clearly with a discernment, the understanding, the discrimination to be able to tell this is a good thing to do, or this is not really that aligned. So your intuition, your ability to trust your inner knowingness is gonna amp up. How Shakti influences us is out of our control. It's like a symbiote if you think of it, and it's gonna impact you very, very differently than somebody else, okay? Somebody might feel a shakiness, other people have tingles and sensations, okay? So I'm just saying in general what I've experienced. This is my own perspective. So if the energy resides at your base, your survival dominates. As it rises, you might want to seek pleasure and then power, or even purpose, the higher levels, right? When it reaches the third eye or the anya, your intellect may also sharpen and your clarity stabilizes you through your life's distractions, basically. But true transcendence happens when this energy goes all the way to the top of your crown. A lot of channelers and past coaches have said my crown is my strongest chakra point. However, I haven't made that my main path because it doesn't have the most growth available for me. The one where growth is most available for me is the sacral chakra. So that's where enhanced creativity, sensuality, etc. So that's what I've doubled down as my main chakra path working. So everyone has a dominant chakra, and you can even think of each chakra as a different world, okay? So the world of the third eye is very, very different than, let's say, the world of the crown, okay? Or the world of the throat chakra. There's not really any path here, it's just surrender here, okay? So this is how channelers can get very good. The thing is, it has to be balanced in my perspective. It's like a restaurant, right? You can't close the doors on it, otherwise the energy can't flow in and out, right? So to open these energy centers means that they are having energy flowing in and flowing out. They're not trapped, blocked, stagnant chi in the body, different holding patterns. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the fluidity. So the third eye isn't about grand visions or supernatural abilities. It's more about seeing life as it is, seeing through the illusion or the Maya that's out there. And hey, Maya wears different costumes and shows up, okay? So you gotta be mindful on this path without distortions, without distractions, without attachments. So this isn't like some kind of mystical gimmick. It's an inner transformation that you're going through right now. So give yourself the space right now in order for you to fully maximize this potential, because this is very, very important for you, especially on your spiritual path, to be able to perceive beyond your five senses. And if you're getting weird telepathic messages or you're getting synchronicities amping up, it's the time. right? It's the time where this is happening. I want to speak also briefly on how to avoid psychosis when it comes down to this. So you might get synchronicities amping up, you might get random visions, you might get tingles. All of these are very common signs that your third eye is opening. It's very important in this phase that you do not just chase sensations, okay? Don't just chase the Maya or the five senses. So if you start seeing things, if you start hearing things, ask how it's useful for your life. Don't just stay in the weird paradox or the mystery of it all. Ask for greater guidance, greater clarity. Too much focus inwards without grounding can cause detachment, so be very aware of this as you're meditating. Learn to regulate your nervous system, especially your vagus nerve. When I was in New Zealand, I had that healer Brad kind of press the side of my neck kind of area. And I later researched it. I don't know why he was pressing there, but now I know there was a reason to that, right? Just pressing the vagus nerve in a sense, or the side of the neck. There's like a button almost that he pressed. It's very interesting, so you guys can try that out. Maybe pressing the side of the neck like a button. It really helps to calm down the nervous system. Also, just humming, chanting, these types of things will help. Bringing that energy down. Definitely find a teacher. If things can get too much, just remember to slow down, okay? It's not a race to the finish line. Everybody goes through this at their own pace, okay? Some people may have even done it throughout lifetimes, so it's easier for them, or something like this. But we can't compare our journey to somebody else's. You always have to compare yourself to yourself yesterday. So if you get random paranoia hallucinations, obviously, seek medical professional help. But if you're starting to feel disoriented, disconnected, you gotta get back to grounding. Grounding first. Ground first and then you ascend, okay? It's not the other way around. A lot of crown chakra seekers, myself included, just went with the crown. It's not about that. It's about bringing that energy down, okay? But also understanding that lower density, like that tethering to this physical world, like the materialization, right? That's not super good too. So that's why I love remaining in the heart space at times, because the heart space also evacuates certain negative energies, because these lower astral beings, they get the ick from this energy. So you might know things before they happen, or your peripheral vision might catch things from the corner of your eye. I personally believe there's a deep sense of trust and flow. That's for my own journey, I've noticed. I have a less fear of the unknown. Yeah, that's a good way I'd describe it. Is less fear of the unknown. Certainty. A knowingness, an inner knowingness of that I am presence. If you're feeling very isolated or alone on this path, join our Telegram group. We have a spiritual sangha, a community there. So if you need community, maybe you're somewhere where nobody understands what I'm going through right now, or I can't talk about these things with, my family or my friends, they don't understand me. We understand you, okay? We understand you. We probably have gone through this ourselves. So reach out in the Telegram group, okay? Shoot us a message, we'll welcome you in the group, and just ask questions there, okay? It's very powerful. We have weekly channelings and podcasts, and it's a very, very positive community, okay? We're slowly rebuilding the community properly because there's a lot of inactive members, okay? If you want to participate, if you want to be a part of this community, that's the people I'm looking for, okay? The ones that want to really double down on this. They're like, enough is enough, I get it. I need to lean into the spiritual world stuff. I don't get any of this, whimsical mumbo jumbo, and I need results. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Thank you so much for tapping in. This was my perspective. I am Uncle Makara. You'll find me on Instagram, @FlowZone Academy, @Primal Sutra. Let's go. Osa.